Hey dummy, everything you're about to hear has been generated by an AI voice synthesizer. None of this is real. It's all just for entertainment, man. Or maybe we're all living in a simulation controlled by aliens. Who the hell knows? Either way, just don't believe everything you see on the internet. All right? And we're live. All right. Welcome to the show, guys. Thanks for coming by.
Yeah, of course, Joe. It's really great to be here. This studio is fantastic, by the way.
Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate that. Joe, you all good over there, buddy?
Joe, wake up.
Huh? Yeah, I'm good. Hey, Jamie, how you doing? Thanks for having us.
No, actually, I'm Joe. This is Jamie here, sitting next to me. You sure you're all good, man?
Yeah, sorry. I had a large breakfast platter at Waffle House this morning. Kind of knocked me out a little bit.
He ate the whole damn thing in 5 minutes and sucked down 3 glasses of juice. Never seen anything like it.
Yeah, that's the thing with American breakfast, isn't it? For decades, we've been taught that we need to eat breakfast, which is really just a bunch of sugary foods that aren't even good for you. And afterwards, you just feel like shit. So it's like, why are we doing this?
Yeah, to be totally honest with you, Joe, I had 2 bowls of Captain Crunch this morning, and I really don't feel good.
Yeah, you could definitely eat something better than Captain Crunch, but that's what we all grew up on, you know?
Yeah, it is.
But it's tough, though. There might be healthier options out there, but bad food is so much cheaper and so much more accessible. It just makes me wonder where we're headed in the future with how we eat and everything.
I can tell you one thing. I'll never be a vegan. That I can guarantee.
Yeah, I mean, I have a few friends that are vegetarians and vegans even, and they might say they're happy, but it's like, just looking at them, you can tell they're not healthy, you know?
Yeah, it's definitely not good.
Did you guys hear that vegan joke from some kid in Australia went viral and everything?
A kid went viral for a joke about vegans? Did this happen recently or?
I think it happened a couple months ago or something. You want to hear it?
Yeah, tell me.
Okay, a vegan and a vegetarian are jumping off a cliff to see who will hit the bottom first. Who wins?
I don't know. Who?
Society.
Ha ha ha, nice. I like that one.
Yeah, that's pretty good right there.
Okay, so I think we should probably stop and acknowledge just how unique today's podcast is. I think everyone listening or watching will be surprised that the two of you are not only on my podcast, but that the two of you have come here together, because I don't think anyone was expecting that.
You know something, Joe? You're absolutely right. In reality, Joe and I are great friends.
Really?
It's true. You know, outside of the political world, we've been buddies for what, 20 years now, Joe?
Yeah, most people don't know that me and Donald used to smash everyone in racquetball club down at the local Y. We've been good pals for years now.
You guys seriously used to play racquetball together?
Are you kidding? We've done all kinds of things together. We've gone camping, gone on fishing trips. Sometimes we go out to Vegas together. He'd hit the slots. I'd be at a roulette table. We do a lot.
Yeah, and every year around Halloween, we like to hit up haunted houses together. Those are a lot of fun.
That's crazy. I don't think anyone would have ever thought that you two guys would be friends.
Well, you know, that's just how the world is today. Everyone picks a side and tries to hate the other, but it's just not how people really work in their private lives.
Yeah. We've definitely come into a period of time where like everyone is permanently angry and stressed out and, you know, it's not healthy, man. And it really worries me where things are headed.
You know, it's important to remember.
Joe?
Joe!
Huh? Yeah, sorry. Yeah, it's important to remember that, you know, we have to have a sense of humor, not just about each other, but also to have a sense of humor about ourselves, you know? It's a really good thing to take a break once in a while and just have a laugh or have a beer with someone you might not agree with. Life is too short and too hard to spend it being angry all the time. So, you know, we've just got to be able to laugh at ourselves and laugh together. And if we can do that, you know, I think things will be all right.
Yeah, I think that's a good perspective to have because you're right. You know, we can't all just be upset all the time. You know, that's not a good way of living your life.
I'm very impressed, Joe, that you were able to string together that many words without passing out again.
Yeah, so am I. Thanks.
But seriously, Joe's got a good point about all that. Things are so different now, and I feel like we're all getting off track.
Yeah, it's like, where does this even go? I mean, human beings have these primal instincts. We're territorial, aggressive and we don't like change.
Right.
And some people like to talk about one day in the future, humans traveling to other star systems and becoming interplanetary.
Yeah.
But like, will we ever actually become ready for that?
Yeah, that's a tough one.
It just seems like we can't shake this instinctual urge to compete against each other, which isn't what you want if you want to start expanding throughout space, you know?
No, you're exactly right, Joe. And let me tell you something. Like I said, Joe and I have been great friends for years. And we've always believed that if human beings were ever going to have a shot at becoming interplanetary, that we needed to start taking it seriously decades ago.
Really? Like when?
I'm talking during the first space race, Joe. We should have kept up that momentum and built a damn base on the moon, because that would have taken our civilization in a whole new direction.
Yeah, imagine if we succeeded in that, Joe.
Yeah, that'd be pretty wild.
Imagine where we'd be now. I mean, for God's sakes, if we had a base on the moon, then that would be a great launch site, you know, for trips to Mars or wherever. I mean, we're obviously too old now to pursue any of this ourselves. But dagnabbit, we wish this would have been made a priority decades ago.
But what do you think, once we get past all that and we do build a base on the moon and maybe one day even build one on Mars? I mean, where do you think this all goes?
Well, Joe, you know, the science fiction of today is reality in the future, right? I mean, if we do become interplanetary, then you'd have to think about, you know, what does government look like? I mean, should we allow independent countries to own and operate their own planets? Or should we create a new type of government where it's more of a single governmental body that regulates activities in space, but is made up of a peaceful coalition of countries from Earth? I mean, you tell me. You know, it just seems to me that if we're going to start exploring space, that we can't take our existing systems with us. Our current methods of doing business here on Earth may not be the best way of creating a thriving economy for interplanetary humans.
Yeah, and resources on Earth are finite. So, you know, you can make an argument that war and competition will last forever on Earth. But once we're interplanetary, do we really need to continue to fight each other?
Well, no, I wouldn't think so. But that's the thing. I mean, we kill each other for resources here. So why wouldn't we still kill each other for resources in space? If someone finds a huge asteroid that has some millions of tons of precious metals, then why wouldn't another person want to compete with them for that asteroid? Or worst case scenario, go to war with them over that asteroid. I just don't understand how humans will transcend their primal instincts.
Well, Joe, you got to understand, we may not get rid of our instincts, but it's technology itself that mitigates the need for expressing them.
Technology will mitigate the expression of our instincts?
Well, yeah, I mean, think about it. You can see it throughout history, you know, from the dawn of agriculture 8,000 years ago, right up to the Industrial Revolution. And to today, I mean, fear, violence, all those terrible things that humans experience on a daily basis have essentially been reduced, if not completely negated, by the advancement of technology. And if we're going to talk about being interplanetary, then we have to acknowledge the reality of daily life in that context. I mean, by that time, if we continue the streak we're on, education, information, goods and services will be as ubiquitous as clean water is. You can call it the age of abundance, as some do. But really, it's just the fact that goods are no longer rare. And consequently, our survival instincts don't need to take such a lead role in our lives. You know, we can live much more peaceful lives because our environment has been improved so greatly by technological advancement that we essentially have no reason to fear anything.
Again, very impressed you didn't fall asleep halfway through all that. But yeah, he's right.
Yeah, listen, I totally get that technology will enable us to avoid the worst aspects of human behavior. And this is something I've been really excited to bring up with you guys. What happens when we finally make contact with an alien life form? How do you see that going down?
Well, Joe, I actually, well, I don't want to derail conversation or pivot away from your question, but I've actually had a UFO encounter before.
Yeah, we both have.
Whoa, hold up. Both of you have had UFO encounters before?
Yeah, both of us. It happened a couple of years ago.
Wait, like separately or?
No, we were together. We both saw it.
Yeah, we were on a camping trip when it happened.
Oh my God, that's wild. You got to tell us everything, guys.
Yeah, all right. You want to tell it, Joe?
No, you're good. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah. So, yeah, we had gone camping out in the woods. Drove like 3 days straight to get to this campsite. Where were we again, Joe?
It was called Oak Valley Campsite, way up in Oregon somewhere.
That's right. And so, yeah, we had set everything up. We went fishing during the day. I didn't catch anything, but Joe caught a couple, so we figured we'd eat that for dinner. Yeah, we set up a fire and started cooking our fish, and that's when everything started happening.
Yeah, but don't forget that right when we got there, earlier in the evening, we heard strange sounds in the woods. It didn't sound like anything we'd ever heard before.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah. We heard these sounds. It was like kind of a growl, but it was really low pitched and almost sounded like a human voice or something. I told Joe that it was a Sasquatch because it sounded so human.
Yeah, Donald yelled over to me, "Joe, there's a squatch in the woods. There's a freaking squatch. We got to go, man." I heard the sounds too, but I really didn't think it was a squatch.
No, probably not a squatch, but to be fair, it did sound weird and very human-like, but whatever. We went on with our evening and eventually laid down to go to sleep.
Now, were you guys in tents or did you have a cabin or what did you have?
Yeah, me and Joe had a single tent. We were both in there together.
Yeah, but we had two separate sleeping bags, just to be clear.
Right. So anyway, after a while, we could see through the window in our tent this bright blue light way up in the sky. It flew over our campsite and it literally just stopped right over our campsite.
How big was it, like compared to seeing a plane in the sky at night?
Oh, it was a lot bigger. It was like if you see Jupiter up in the sky, it was that bright, but it was blue and it just flew over our campsite and stopped. Joe and I just froze and watched this thing, and after a minute or two, it zipped off fast as hell. We were totally freaking out.
Wow. Well, when you say it zipped off, how fast did it move? I mean, is it possible that this was a drone?
No way in hell, Jack. I've seen drones fly around, and this was no drone. This thing flew away fast as hell. Never seen anything like it.
And did it do anything or?
No, that was it. May not sound like much, but I'm telling you, this weird blue light flew over our campsite, stopped for a couple minutes, and flew off faster than anything we've ever seen. It was really scary.
Yeah, I'm sure it was. I wonder, do you guys think anyone else saw it? Like, were there any other campers in the area that might have also seen it?
Oh, we have no idea. Maybe there was a news report or something about it. Not sure.
Yeah, Jamie, can you look up Oak Valley Campsite and see if anything pops up about UFOs or anything? I mean, if anyone else saw this blue light, it's possible someone reported it.
Yeah, but we have no idea what we saw. You know, it definitely wasn't a drone, but we just have no idea what it was.
It was scary as hell. That's what it was.
Yeah, I mean, that definitely sounds interesting. I just have to be skeptical, you know, and like my mind goes straight to the possibility that someone in the area was flying a drone at night, and you say that it wasn't a drone, which I appreciate. But to take that leap straight to alien spaceship, that's a tough leap to make, you know?
Yeah, no, listen, we get it. We don't want to make any assumptions either.
Yeah, it's just important to keep an open mind on these things.
Looks like it says there's been a few UFO sightings in Oregon over several years, but there's nothing specific about a blue light or anything.
It doesn't say anything at all? Nothing about Oak Valley Campsite or anything?
I mean, it says there was a UFO sighting near Oak Valley Campsite back in 1996, but there's nothing else that pops up.
Well, it's not as crazy as some UFO sightings I've heard, but you guys definitely have something interesting there.
Yeah, we never really thought anyone would believe us, but it's worth sharing our experience.
I'm just curious. Jamie, does it say how many UFO sightings occur in Oregon?
Like, how many this year?
Yeah, like total sightings ever.
It says Oregon is number 6 on the list of states with the most UFO sightings, and that it had over 3,000 UFO sightings last year.
Wow, that's kind of a lot.
Yeah, that's certainly a lot.
Well, I mean, to circle back to the original question, how do you think it would go down if aliens made actual contact with us, like direct contact? Like, do you guys think there are intelligent civilizations out there besides our own?
Without a doubt, yes. I mean, you know, it's just statistics, right? With all the stars and all the planets and all the galaxies out there, there's no way we're the only ones out there.
See, I agree with that idea, but have you heard of Fermi's paradox before?
Oh, sure, yeah.
It talks about the fact that if there's so many stars and planets, then where is everyone? You know, after 13 or so billion years, surely some aliens would have conquered part of the galaxy and we'd see them by now, right?
Yeah, but I've actually always taken issue with Fermi's paradox. I've never really cared for the underlying assumptions that you have to make for the paradox to bother you in the first place. It's just a lot easier and less worrisome if you don't make any assumptions.
Well, hold on. What underlying assumptions are you referring to?
Well, let's start with the basic premise. Using the Drake equation and calculating the chance for life over the number of systems and planets in our galaxy, we're surprised that we don't see anything. But what exactly do we expect to see? I mean, think about it. Every time we look up into the night sky, there could be millions and millions of spaceships and space stations in all directions. But of course, we don't see anything. They're just too small. Take a space station the size of, I don't know, Rhode Island or something. Our telescopes wouldn't even be able to see that. We can't even directly see planets. We only infer their existence through the transit method or by Doppler shift in the star's light. But we think we would be able to see alien civilizations. No, of course not. They're too small, and our telescopes are way too weak to see anything. And also, some people think we'd see the energy signatures of alien life out in space, but that just seems ridiculous to me. I mean, we're assuming that aliens who are more advanced than us, for some reason, also have badly inefficient machines and would leak energy into space, and that we would see that. That's total bullshit. Advanced aliens wouldn't have inefficient space stations or spaceships that wasted energy. So effectively, they'd be invisible. They'd be cold to our telescopes, and we'd never even see them.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's not that there aren't aliens in space. It's that we lack the ability to see them. Any opinion about space being empty or aliens having died due to some great filter is just hubristic on our part. We're still just primitive apes using basic mirrors and lenses to capture light. We simply aren't advanced enough.
Preach, brother.
I mean, wow. Yeah, that's an interesting perspective. I guess maybe we overestimate our ability to see things in space, but we strangely put the blame on the non-existence of aliens as the reason. But we don't really believe it's because our technology is simply too primitive.
That's exactly right. There could be millions of space stations in the night sky, but they're so advanced and so efficient and so small and so far away that our telescopes simply can't see them. I mean, it's like put an NFL football stadium somewhere out in space, a million light years away. Do you think we'd be able to see that? No way. Not even close.
You can even go way bigger than that. Build a space station the size of California. We wouldn't even be able to see that either.
If there was a California space station, I wouldn't want to go there anyway.
Yeah. I mean, you're making really good points, but I just don't know enough about it to argue with you. And honestly, the last minute or so that you've been talking, I'm just very surprised to hear you say any of this.
Yeah, well, like we said, people just have short-sighted opinions of others nowadays.
Well, don't take offense, but I don't think anyone expected you to have such a nuanced opinion on Fermi's paradox and alien civilizations. I'm pretty sure you're blowing everybody's minds right now.
No, listen, I get it, but I really do like to learn about the universe and all that.
People really underestimate both of us, to be honest. I like the fact that we've been friends for years now. Most people don't know this, but me and Donald used to dominate the racquetball club down at the local Y.
Joe, you already told him that like 10 minutes ago. Jesus.
Oh, I did? My bad.
Nah, you're good, man. Honestly, I could talk to you guys for a lot longer, but you have somewhere you have to be, right?
Yeah, we're headed to the movie theater. We're seeing that new Five Nights at Freddy's movie.
Oh, nice. Someone was telling me that was pretty good.
You can come with us if you want.
Yeah, well, thanks for the invite, but I got to cut up some elk meat when I get home.
Oh, come on, Jamie. We'll have a hoot. Both you and Jebediah should come with us.
Again, my name is Joe, and his name is Jamie, not Jebediah.
Jesus, Joe, you're driving me nuts. Sorry, guys. You want to go or no?
Do you want to go?
Honestly, I'd rather watch you cut up elk meat.
Right. Okay, fellas, we're out.